How we doing, folks? So I'm here in Glenbannacher, which is in the hills of Badenoch and Strathspey, or Badenoch, if you're one of those people. I say Badenoch, I'm sticking with that. I just discovered this place just the weekend there. I was up doing a engagement shoot with a couple, Claire and Dave, and their wee dog Winnie. And I'd never been up here before, and I got a shot from over here of the two of them on the hill, a nice birch tree beside it, and the mountains in the background, with the snow on top. It looked cracking. I thought, right, I need to come back here. So here I am. Now, I came from Inverness, so about a 45-minute drive, and I came through snow, a few sort of wee blizzards, and I was expecting it to be absolutely white-out conditions here, but it's not. There's actually not that much snow on the ground at all. So the actual shot I had in mind, the first shot anyway, was of the birch tree over here, which I'm going to go and show you. So it's not going to be quite what I want, but there's still snow on the hills, and if I get a wee bit of blue sky, get a bit of definition, then happy days. So let's see how we get on. Let's go and have a look. So, this is our composition here, with the birch tree here behind me and the mountains behind, and guess what? I forgot to take the tripod out of the car. What a tube. Anyway, this will give you an idea. So you can see there, it's going to be lovely. Right, we're back at the car. Tripod's there, camera's there, and I'm just going to head down the glen a couple of miles because I've been told there's some ruins amongst the glen here. So I think while we've got, might not be that much snow on the ground, but there's snow on the hill, so I'm hoping we might get a good contrast between some old buildings and the white hills in the background and blue sky. So yeah, we'll just see what happens. All right, happy days. So we found our first ruin, or abandoned croft, whatever you want to call it. As you can see, it's got a nice backdrop of these mountains, as we hoped. And you can also probably see behind those, there's another couple more. So, rich pickings by the looks of it. Now, what I want to do here is probably go a bit further back, just so I can sort of get a telephoto lens on, just kind of zoom in and just bring the background in. So if we can get these hills, you know, looking quite close up, it could look pretty spectacular. So let's go and have a look. Let's give this a bash. So I'm quite happy with that as a composition and a scene. I think I'm far enough back I can just start to bring in the background with this lens. Let's see how we get on. I don't particularly like the molehills in the field here, but I'm hoping we can get rid of those by just zooming past. Let's have a look. I'm actually quite excited about this because it's a cracking scene. We've got that blue skies, which is going to give us that contrast. I'm going to keep the tripod quite high because I want to keep the croft below the hill line for separation. And yeah, there's also a slightly raised up point over there. I might go there after here. We'll see how we get on here first anyway. try a bit of both, because let's face it, there's no harm in. One thing I'm going to get is my cable release, which some people say you don't need that with vibration reduction lenses these days, but you know what, I just prefer not to be touching the camera at all when I'm taking these shots, so I'm going to get that out and we'll see how we get on. Like multiple ones there. So that's us, and let's focus on the hills as well, just to make sure we get. So I've come up onto this raised bank here, and it's looking great. So we've now got a sort of darker hill behind the croft, which hasn't got snow on it. And then behind that curve, we've got the snow and the bigger mountains. The croft is completely separated now, and I'm not sure. There's these Scots pine trees here, and it's actually creating quite a nice frame around the top. But I don't know. Tell me what you think. Do you like it? I quite like it, but I don't know if it's maybe just not something you do. But I'm gonna bash it anyway. Let's see. So yeah, we're at 70 mils now. F16, 50th of the second, ISO 64. Quite bright out there, but I'm actually in the shade here, which is. I'm going to start exposing for the croft itself, so I'm taking it a bit further down now. 80th of a second. Hear the buzzards calling above me. Love buzzards. Never photographed one properly yet though. For some reason they're pretty timid beasts. They certainly don't like me. There we go. So let's look at that, and I'm actually going to try one now without the bushes, because I don't think it's such a nice croft, such a nice building. It's not, still pretty intact. While I'm here, I might as well do a wee portrait as well. The only thing with that is there's nothing really in the foreground to capture here. There's a bit of grass, but it's, but let's just go right into 200 for this one, so we get the hills. Yeah, so that's quite nice. That is quite nice. It's maybe rule of thirds wise, I'm maybe just breaking the rule a wee bit. Let's see. I think I might just do for this one, just zoom out slightly. One for the foreground. There we go. Get that croft. And now the hills, which are looking pretty spectacular. Excellent. Right. I think we'll move on with that. I'm happy with that for starters. As I said, there's more buildings further up the glen here, so yeah, let's just crack on. I might try and might change lenses, get a closer one of the croft here. That maybe if I can find a rock in the foreground, give that a bash, just for something a bit different. So I've actually spotted a wee young beech tree that's in the middle of this field between me and the croft and the hills, and I think I might try and see if I can get a wee shot with that in it as well. It's actually quite nice just for have a wee bit of foreground interest, because it's, other than that, it's a bit sparse, this part. Let's see if we can make that out. So you can just see it's just on the left. So, the question is, do we go down low and get that tree popping above the hills? Or is that too much of a distraction? Quite like that. quite close, but I think this might make a nice wee shot on the 14 to 30. Let's give it a bash. So this is us, we're sitting up here. I'm quite low down. I'm hoping, well, I've got the 14 to 30 on, so let's just have a look. I'm going to put a couple of filters on and just give it a bash from there. Oh, what a day, what a day. You know what, I was talking earlier about wishing for a bit of snow, but you know what, this is actually better, because we're getting these blue skies, we've still got the snow on the hills, a bit of sunshine, don't even have to wear my hat. Right, let's go for this. There we go. That's not what we do. Now I'm going to just zoom into 30 mil here and just see if I can. Yeah, that's quite nice. Just get a wee bit. Oh, excellent. Right, quite happy with that. I think we'll now move on to another croft. So I've actually come quite close up to the croft now. I was about to move on to the next ones, but I just saw we have a bit of foreground interest here because we've got a wee ridge in front of the croft that's got a wee bit of sort of remaining bit of snow, and I think that might just work as a bit of leading line into the croft itself. But yeah, let's have a look, see how this goes. So it was at this stage of the day when I realised I'd been a tube again, and I had not put enough battery power in my Osmo. So from now on, all you're going to see is a few more stills from up the glen and a little bit at the end, but that's probably just as well. So I was about to head home, and then I remembered, oh, what was the main point for me coming here? And it was to get the shot of the birch tree, and I'd forgot my tripod. So I've come back here just to get a wee shot of this fella. And although the sun's in a completely different position now, so the hills are a bit backlit, but we're still getting a good contrast with that birch tree. So I'm going to get this, and then I'll be off. This is Andy Allen, you've been watching Big Highland Photography. Enjoy, give it a wee like and a wee subscribe, would be much appreciated. Toodaloo!